Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. How are you today? We are so happy to be with you. This is our Wednesday.
No, this is Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday. It used to be. Yeah, it used to be Wednesday. Yeah, this is our Tuesday. This is our weekly wellness chat. For those of you who are meeting us for the first time, I'm Dr. Arjun Rayapudi, and this is my lovely wife, Dr. Shobha Rayapudi. We are both co-founders of Gift of Health and board certified lifestyle medicine doctors. And we are here to share today a very, very important and a very powerful formula for stress-free living.
So make sure you have your pen and paper because we are going to give all the puzzles and you will be putting this together in today's session. So make sure you have your pen and paper ready with you.
By the end of today's live, you'll have a very powerful formula right in front of you, in your hands, at the tip of your fingers, to cope with stress in healthy ways. So first, let us know whether you're able to hear our audio is okay. Like, is the audio good? Are you able to hear as well? And also let us know where you're joining from. Give us a like or a thumbs up so that we know that you're here and we are ready to go. Hey, Beth, good to see you. Hi, Sharon, how are you? Good, good, excellent. So invite your friends and family and let them know that this is even happening. Like, not many people know that there is something powerful uh, at the Gift of Health is happening, like to deal with our mental health. Good, good. So are you ready? Let us know. Hi, Ellen. How are you? Oh, lots of snow there, huh, in Prince Edward Island. Hope you're staying warm. How is the audio? Good. So let us know if you have when you have your pen and paper ready. And we are here to. Audio is good. Yeah, we are here to. It's like a small puzzle you'll be filling out on the paper, and we'll have fun together doing this. So during this process today, we'll be busting a lot of myths about stress, right? And you'll have time-tested, proven formula, methods, and means to cope with stress in healthy ways. Who here experienced stress in their life? Anyone? Have you ever experienced any stress in your life? Hi, Janice. How are you? Janice, we're going to be sharing a very powerful formula to cope with stress in healthy ways today. And this may be your ticket to stress-free living. So, so let your friends and family members know, like this, and give us some love, and share it in the comments. Yeah, everyone, right? Vivian, like, stress is so common, but the thing is, not much like we don't get much teaching or like knowledge about how to take care of our mental health, right?
So, who do you think is responsible for your mental health?
Very powerful question, huh? Right? Who is responsible for your mental health? While you're answering that and thinking about it, we want you to write this down on a paper. Like, when once you have taken a pen and paper, so basically you write this down: STESTRESS. You basically spell, like, can you see? Can you all see this one? Yeah. So STRESS. So we will be giving you a formula, like, where you'll be filling out different aspects of like stress relief techniques or stress management techniques that will fit into this stress puzzle. Yeah, Janice says, like, when you asked who's responsible for your mental health, I am, and Vivian is saying, yes, I am. And yes, we are, right? Like, so most of the time, uh, what we find is like many of us don't take good responsibility for the mental health. And like, we're all mm, also, when you don't take responsibility, what happens? When you don't take responsibility for your mental health, what do we tend to do? We tend to put the burden on someone else, either our family, our friends. Like, we blame when we are not happy, when we are stressed. What do we do?
My stress is because of my partner. My
Our
stress is because of my job. My stress is because of this event. Or my stress is because of this circumstance.
or this person, like, some either a friend or a family member or a boss or sister-in-law, mother-in-law, isn't it? Hi, Jacqueline, how are you? So we're talking about like, how to cope with stress in healthy ways, and we are sharing a formula for stress-free living. So the first we are filling out this puzzle. So you already got the answer. Like, some of you have already got the answer for the. I think this is not so good, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, because of the white paper.
yeah. Let's see. There is a whiteboard, right? Like here on Zoom.
Mhm. Or you could just share screen on a whiteboard.
Um, hmm. Share screen. Is there a whiteboard on Zoom? Oh, no, to try that one. Yeah, whiteboard. Okay. Okay, good, good. Okay.
No, right.
So here we are. Okay. So the formula for stress, like what we are saying is like it's embedded in these words, in these letters. S T R. This is we are new to using this whiteboard.
You can also type in.
Okay, that's fine. So, okay, so one like way to handle stress the best is to take responsibility. So that's what Shobha was asking, like, who's responsible for your mental health? So, when once we start saying, I am responsible for my mental health, that is a great starting point to
Why do you want to do this?
so okay, okay, let's shall we do text? Okay.
Yeah, type in responsibility.
Okay, so let's erase this thing. We are having fun doing this whiteboard thing with you guys. Okay, text and can we make the text bigger?
Mhm.
Doesn't look like it, sure. But you can see the screen, isn't it? R for responsibility for the mental health. So we'll come back to it. So we'll keep this whiteboard and let's click save. If we stop sharing,
Yeah, it's okay. You can share back.
okay.
Yeah.
How are we doing so far? Are you still with us? Increase the size, yeah. Yes, increase the size. Jeannie, we will figure this out, how to increase the size. Let's see. Well, so the first element is basically taking responsibility for our mental health, right?
Yeah, but the question is like, who is responsible for our emotions? So let's say when I'm sad, when I'm angry, when I'm frustrated, who is responsible for that emotions? I know
we'll give you a tip, right? We'll give you a tip. When you're hungry, who's responsible for your hunger? Or when your bladder is full, you need to pee. Who is responsible for your bladder? Similarly, like if your mind is having diarrhea, and we call that sometimes anxiety or sometimes like stress. So who's responsible for that? That's a great place to start from. Like once we start saying me, I am responsible, only then there is a possibility that we'll do something about it, right?
Mhm.
And responsibility also means that you have the ability to respond. That means you sometimes when we say, okay, I'm responsible, but I don't know where to start. Yes, we don't know where to start, but once you start recognizing that we have the ability to respond, and then we pursue that, it just becomes, we become more and more powerful, and we tend to put less blame on others. Sound good? So let's keep going. So R for responsibility. Another way to cope with stress is to relax more. Who here loves to relax? Yes? So has it ever happened to you that you are relaxing and you're stressed? Is it possible for you to relax fully and be stressed at the same time? You could either be stressed or you could relax. So when you do active relaxation in your daily life, then you will have less stress. So another R, what to write next to R is relaxation. So that is active relaxation. And now we're not talking about relaxation with some chemicals or drugs or cigarettes or smoking or alcohol. We're talking about active relaxation, like
or with electronics, or with watching TV or social media, or with our cell phone. So we are not talking about that kind of relaxation. But
I mean, that's okay. If you do that, you bring up a good point, Shobha. Like, for many of us, being on the phone sometimes can be relaxation, right?
And by the way, what are the things that we can do to relax?
How do you relax how do you relax? Like that, relax that is healthful for you, not hurtful. Like, relax in a way that boosts your health. If you're smoking to calm your stress, is that healthful? No. If you're like, finishing bottles and bottles of wine to relax, is that healthful? Right? But there are ways, like, how about, going for a walk, right? How beautiful is it? Like, if you just go for a walk in the nature, and sometimes like, in a cold weather like this, even if you just, walk inside the house, Vivian says, by doing the things that we love, like, many of our friends, like they love knitting, or like, quilting, or music, right? So finding ways. So other R in your in the formula is relaxation.
And if we see, sometimes we want to relax with food. Sometimes we use food for relaxing. Sometimes we use TV for relaxing, like watching shows, or browsing. So as you can see, there are like different ways that we are using to relax. So here the question is, how are we relaxing? Which form of relaxation really gives us that relaxation? Because sometimes if you notice, even when we try to relax with TV, after some time our eyes feel very tired.
Yeah, how much can you relax with the TV?
Yeah.
Right? After a while, you might start feeling like, this is jigsaw puzzles, like.
And shopping.
Yeah.
Emma said reading a book. Yes.
You got it, Emma. That's great. Like, shopping. Yeah, shopping is good to an extent, Jeannie. But the thing is, if you shop on too much, what will happen?
No, the thing is, you can do window shopping as
yeah,
well.
window shopping is great. But if you do shopping too much, then you'll have more stress, because you'll have more bills to pay, right?
As long as somebody else is paying, we don't have to stress about it.
Well, then you're not taking responsibility. Yeah, Robert says jigsaw puzzles. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
All these are great. Like, so you guys have figured out the R component. One is one part of R is taking responsibility for our mental health, and second part of R is relaxing and letting go. Letting go is one of the most difficult ones, like for many people. And letting go involves letting go some of the things that are holding us back, right?
Mhm. So, but have you noticed? I know we want to relax, but have you noticed that there are so many things to do in a day and we don't have enough time? So we don't even get enough time to relax because there are so many things to do. Has it ever happened to you? There are so many things to do and you don't have enough time for that day. Has it ever happened to you?
So one reason for stress is also lack of time,
Mm-hmm.
right? Every day, Ashley says every day, yeah, lack of time. And most of the time, lack of time is not actually lack of time, it's mismanaging time. All of us get only what, how many hours? 24 hours in a day. 24 hours in a day, that is 40 minutes in a day. And if you look at it, like if you look at what we do with time, there lies the answer. Like, if you look and if you do a log of what you do with your time from the time you wake up to the time you sleep, there are lots of areas of where we are wasting away our time. How much time typically, like, do you spend on social media? Not this good stuff, like, where you're learning from two doctors about stress relief. This is not what we're talking about. How much time you waste away just scrolling through the news feeds of, the Facebook or the Instagram, and, like, thinking, oh, that person got such a nice things. That person, I wish I had that, like, feeling something, or comparing ourselves with others, what they have, what they don't have, right? Social media, like, how much time you spend social. So research shows that on average, like, adults spend about 2.5 to 3 hours of time on social media. And I'm taking the lower limits, but there are people who spend up to 5-6 hours on social media, like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube. Way too much. Maureen says way too much, right? So imagine, like, from tomorrow you are start policing, like, start watching yourself, how much time you're using, and you're not completely taking it away, but bring that down by 50%. Would you not create like another hour or hour and a half for yourself, for your self-care? Another aspect of time usage is, like, how much time do you typically spend on watching TV, either Netflix or Prime or YouTube, or, like, watching all the soap operas, or like Netflix series, one after the other, binge watching, like, you're done with one season, going to the other season. So how much time on average do you think people spend on watching TV? Again, research shows many people spend 2 to 3 hours a day. And again, we're taking the lower limit. Some people spend up to 5 to 6 hours a day. We are guilty as well. Sometimes we do that, like maybe once or twice a year, like when our favorite shows come up. Like, I think last year we had 2 days like that. Like, in the whole year we had 2 days like that. One was when the new season of Cobra Kai.
Mhm.
Has anyone watched Cobra Kai? It's one of our favorite, like, Netflix series show. So when Cobra Kai new season came, Shobha and I, we binge watched and finished that in like 2 days. That was one. And then Family Man. Yeah. Family Man was on Prime. So when that series came, like, that's also our season 2 came, right?
Yes.
Yeah, season 2 Family Man came, and it was on Prime, and we binge watched that took another 2 or 3 days. That's it. For the rest of the whole year, like, no more binge watching, right? So, but for many people, they're binge watching, like, yeah, one series after the one series or one series, like wasting 2 to 3 hours a day at least. How about if you're able to cut it down by 50%? Right? So would you have more time for your self-care, to spend more time with the family, to do the things that you love, Yeah, Jeannie says like, you go on it for few minutes and gone, 60 minutes gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So one tip, well, whether you're using the phone or the iPad, or like watching this series, is get on the, cut it down by 50%. Another way to do it is like you watch them while you're walking. Get either a step counter. Any step counter will do, either Fitbit or Apple Watch, whatever you prefer, and start tracking your activity. Research shows that when you walk at least like 10,000 steps a day, the enough exercise you get, that also helps you with the coping with stress. So here we have, for time, we had time management, like time mastery. Time mastery is not, I think someone shared, Diana shared, like intentional usage of time
Mhm.
based on values.
Yes.
Right. So that is
Mhm.
so powerful. Like, what do you value?
Mhm.
Do you value health? Do you value more happiness? Do you value more family time? Do you value more peace? So if you value peace, health, family time, then shouldn't you be focusing more time on those activities rather than just binge watching some things on the TV or just wasting away time on social media? Yes. So you have the T part, right?
Mhm.
So then the other aspect of the time mastery also, most of the stress happens. When does the stress happen? Whether you are lost in the,
No. Even before that, sometimes I know, like you're talking about the time not many people have. But has it happened to you? You have too many things to do in a day and not much energy?
yeah, that is again another source of stress. Like, if you have too many things on the plate, and if you don't have enough energy, how do you feel? More anxious, more fearful, more stress, right? So energy, not having enough energy, is also a very, very important reason for stress. So how do we handle it, is to find ways how to regulate our energy, right? So the E part.
Yeah, because sometimes I know we pick things based on our values when we know that we have to give importance to our health, like we want to exercise, we want to eat right, we want to do all those things, but we don't feel like doing it. We don't have the energy to do it. So, what can we do to increase our energy? So, what are the things do you think affect our energy levels?
Because once you know how to manage your energy, then there is very little stress. How do you handle your energy levels? How do you handle your energy level? Yeah, Diana says sleep.
Sleep.
Jeannie says sleep. Food is a very important source of energy,
Yeah.
right? Food and sleep. Yeah,
Mhm.
and we're gonna spend a couple of minutes on food, right? Like, so food. Have you noticed that when you eat certain foods, you have more energy, and like especially when you eat like more fresh fruits and more fresh vegetables, less of processed food, how is your energy? Have you noticed that your energy is up? Whereas if you're eating too much sugar, like you may have high energy for a short period of time and then you crash after, right? If you're eating too much processed foods and meats, like has it happened like, you had a heavy meal after a party, and then you want to go lie down and sleep? Turkey coma, like sometimes in Newfoundland we call turkey coma. You had a heavy meal and like, party meal, Sunday dinner, and then after that you want to go lie down and sleep. So if you're having like then the too much of processed foods and animal based foods, that your energy levels will be drained out, because those foods take much more energy to integrate into the body, whereas fruits and vegetables, plant based foods, whole grains, fresh foods, with these foods, like you have much more energy.
Not a lot of people actually realize how food affects our energy levels. So, we are not only talking about the physical health, but actually, food also affects our mental health. Like what works down below the neck also affects what is above our neck. So, food has a great impact below the neck and above the neck too. So,
So foods that improve your physical health also improve the mental health. So more fruits and more vegetables, more whole grains, these things increase, raise the energy. And when you have more energy, has it happened like on a day where you had more energy? There are many things are happening in your life, like at work or at family, like at home, and you're still not bothered. But on some days when your energy is low, like has it happened like, don't touch me, don't even talk to me, like, leave me alone. Even simple things tend to disturb you more. So
when I
yeah,
eat,
so when I eat junk, I feel so bad about myself afterwards. Again, that itself, like, it drains energy,
Mhm,
and that also brings more stress, right?
mhm.
So food, so E part, the thanks for sharing that. E part, like, so we're going by STRESS, right? So we covered the R part. R for responsibility for our mental health, and R for relaxing. T for time management. E for energy regulation. And when it comes to energy regulation, you are eating food is a very, very important thing, right? And the other part of energy regulation, some of you have already shared, is activity, physical activity to build up strength.
Mhm.
Because if you have, you noticed that if you exercise, like, has it ever happened to you that you weren't, that active, like, became more and more like sedentary, more like a couch potato, and then everything started to bother. And we go through these ups and downs, right? Some resolutions, short period of time, like, you started working out and you started being more active. Within 2 to 3 days, or even within a 1 or 2 days, how do you start feeling when you start doing exercise? Our exercise seems like a big word, right? But at least if you start walking more and being more active, what happens to your energy level? With exercise, the energy level goes up. Because when you do either walking or running, or uh, like lifting some light weights or stretching or yoga, any kind of activity, whatever activity that you choose. I mean, we're not saying that, oh, you gotta, run, or you gotta, like, build muscle or lift weights. It's up to you. What, like, even playing with your children, being active, and dancing or moving more, that itself, it increases energy, isn't it?
Yeah. And we can always work from where we are. So let's say if we are not used to moving much. So if we decide today, okay, I'm just going to move 1% more than today. So I'm going to just take few more steps or walk for a few minutes. That itself actually boosts your energy level a lot. So these are, I mean, just taking those tiny steps go a long way. Yeah. Okay, so
So
yeah, I know, like we are talking about the energy. So a lot of you have said food affects our energy, physical activity affects our energy, sleep affects our energy. Can you think of other thing that actually it's a big thing which affects our energy?
I think some of them already said sleep.
So we are sleep was the
Sleep,
third
okay,
third
yeah.
point. Can you guess what's one more thing that affects our energy levels? This is something that we experience every day that really drains our energy. Can you guess?
Our emotions, right?
Have you seen when your mind is active, like so many thoughts are running in your mind that you feel so drained? Have you noticed on some days, like you have not done much, like physically, you have not done much activity, but like by thinking so much, you feel so drained. It was just like your mind was on treadmill and you were on the couch. Has it ever happened to you when you feel so tired, when your mind is just running around? So another part is having a calm mind. So sometimes having a calm mind gives us a lot of energy. That's why, have you noticed when you wake up from the sleep, you feel nice and energetic. After that restful sleep, you are like, okay, I'm ready for the day. I'm feeling good now. I'm feeling like just before sleep, you were so tired, as if all your energy was drained. But right after sleep, how do you feel? Your energy levels goes up because you had that calm mind during that sleep. So that actually increases our energy level. Not many of us realize that. But again, here, what can we do to calm our mind? Because you know, like how our mind works. So if you notice, like one of the tendencies of our mind is to vacillate between the past and the future. Either you're thinking about the past, okay, maybe this happened, that person said that to me, this person said that to me, or we are anxious about the future. I have a deadline. I have to finish this work by this time. So both of the things cause anxiety. So how do you feel when you're thinking about the past? Even though that thing has happened 10 years ago, how do you feel when you're just thinking about it right now? Either we feel guilty or sad or regret. And what happens when we have those feelings? Again, our energy goes down when we feel sad, when we feel depressed. At the same time, let's say if you have a deadline to meet, what are the thoughts running in your mind? How do you feel about that? Again, yes, you can feel anxious, worried. Mhm. Yes. So again, when those things happen, again, if you notice in our body, like our shoulders get tensed and uh, like we are very stressed about it. But the thing is, that is one of the tendencies of our mind, because it will go to past and future. But let's say even if you tell your mind, okay, just think positive thoughts, don't think bad, do you think your mind is going to listen? And let's say if you tell your mind, if it's going to past and future, and if you say, mind, just stay present, do you think it's going to listen? No, the more you ask your mind to do, the more it resists. So that is the second tendency of the mind. And there is one more tendency of the mind, if you notice. Our mind always hangs to the negative things. So let's say there are 10 things that went well today in your day, but there was one thing that did not go well. At the end of the day, what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about the 10 things that went well, or are you thinking about one thing that did not go well? So do you see how your mind is working? So once we know how our mind works, that also gives us ways how we can cope up with stress. Because once we know about our body, once we know about our mind, it really helps us to know how we can cope up with stress. So the other thing is self-knowledge.
So what Shobha you're talking about is just knowledge about our own system,
Yeah, so
right? Knowledge about our body, knowledge about our mind. So these things like make a big difference, right? Like the more think of it this way, like all of us are familiar with having a cell phone. So the more we know about our cell phone, the better we'll be able to use it, right?
Mhm.
Similarly, our body and mind, like the more we know about the body, the more we know about the mind, the more self-knowledge that we have, the better we can take care. So one S is actually self-care. So here, like, while Shobha was, we thought like we'd be able to show you this on the book and paper, but that didn't work out, and the whiteboard didn't work out. So, well, so we're going to share our screen, and we're going to share our the formula for stress relief, not formula for stress, formula for stress relief. So here is what you're going to be seeing. So share screen too. So far, this is what we covered, Shobha, right? We talked about taking responsibility for taking responsibility for our mental health and relaxing actively, and making good usage of our time, like intentional usage of time, not wasting time on social media, and like using the time to do the self-care. And then also we talked about energy regulation, like so eating, focusing on what we are eating, and focusing on exercise. Then many of you also mentioned sleep being an important part, right? Like, because have you noticed that, like, when you on days like when you sleep well, how do you feel? Are you more relaxed when you sleep well compared to the days when you don't sleep well? Like if you missed your beauty sleep, or like, you had some interruptions for the sleep, next day how will you feel? Like, would you have more stress, or would you be eating too much? Like, for many of us, like, if you don't sleep well, what happens to your eating pattern and your cravings?
Yes, it
So
goes
stress,
up.
yeah. So it's the huge part of like coping with the stress in healthy ways is making sure that we are sleeping better, and all these components, like, sleeping well and knowing more about ourselves. This is what forms a self-care. So, but the self-care is not possible without self-knowledge. So self-care and self-knowledge, they go together. So how are we doing so far? So you're getting the formula, right? Like, so you got the self-care, self-knowledge, and intentional usage of time, taking responsibility for health, relaxing actively, regulating your energy, focusing on your sleep. And what is the last S? What else, like, what else can help us cope with stress in healthy ways? So have you noticed, like, one thing that really brings on a lot of stress for many of us is having too many things on our plate. Having too many
Yeah,
things.
so there's a sugary foods.
Yeah, sugary foods. Yeah.
Another S.
Yeah, sugary foods are a source of stress. So staying away from the sugary foods. Yeah, subtracting. Like, so you could probably put subtracting sugary foods.
Yes, yeah.
Right. So one other thing that like we noticed that the periods where we were very stressed in the past were when we had too many things on plate and too many things to do. But rather, like, how about what really helped in the situation was, like, finding clarity. Finding clarity on what is important for us, establishing our priorities. And we do this process, like, figuring out our priorities very, very frequently, like every few weeks to few months, right? Sure. What we take a whiteboard and, like, or a piece of paper, just write down what is that we really want for the next 3 months, next 6 months. What is that we really want? Like, and then we focus on those one or two or three things that are really important for us. And
yeah, rather than trying to do too many things, because there is no way you can do so many things. So only like one thing that helps us, if you could just pick 2 or 3 things that is really important and focus on that, you actually get more done, rather than rather than scattering your attention into so many things. If you are just focused into 1 or 2 things, you are able to do more and achieve more. Yeah. So
simply, basically what we are saying is simplify your life.
mhm,
Simplify your life, and take time to seek more clarity,
mhm,
like seeking clarity about what is that you want, and then focus your time and energy on what is that you want. Like, is health important for you? Like, when we do this simplifying process, like simplifying life process and seeking clarity process, what we what came up for us is our health,
mhm,
our physical health, our mental health, and our family life, like, having good relationship among us, and with our son, and with our extended family, not just us but also our extended family. And then what came up for us, the next one was serving the gift of health community, like, sharing the knowledge and this all this wisdom that has helped us to live healthily and happily. Like, we want to share this with you. So that is also on our top of the priority. So the number one is our physical health and mental health. Number two is our family. Number three is our work, like, doing a good job as a surgeon at the hospital, and then doing the gift of health work. These are the top four things that came up, but there are also other things that came up as well. Like, one thing that is we are passionate about is gardening. Like, we love to grow stuff, so doing more of that is also on our list. So, and the other thing is doing other projects. Like, we want to create more programs within the gift of health to bring this knowledge to you. But the thing is, when we look at it that way, there are many things that are there. Then we prioritized, okay, these top 3 or 4 are the most important ones, and this is where we're going to put more time. That's how we schedule our time as well, our day as well. Like, every day, for at least a day and a half or 2 day, at least an hour and a half or 2 hours is carved for like doing some form of
physical
activity, either exercise or walking or lifting weights or doing yoga, and at least 30 to 40 minutes to do some meditation. And we spend some family time, like, spending some time together, doing things together, spending time with our son. And when we prioritize these things, we also cut out, like, reduced our time of using the cell phone. Like, we're tracking our time, how much time we are using the cell phone on a daily basis, how much time we are watching TV. So we cut down on the time that we were wasting away there, and diverting that
Mhm,
time here. So simplifying the life and seeking more clarity in life. And other part of stress-free living for us is like, um, is also surrendering whatever, we do our best, but we recognize not everything is in our hands.
mhm,
Now, what is in our hands is what is the choices that we can make now, and what is that we can do, what actions that we can take. But we are not always in charge of the results that we get. Like, there are a lot of things that are not in our control, but there are things that are in our control, and we tend to focus our time on the things that are in our control, and we surrender the rest to the divine. You can call that the superpower, or the nature, or the god, whatever you want to call it. Like, the more you surrender uh, the to the like to that special intelligence that is guiding our body. This is a question that came up, Shobha, like a discussion. Like, if you notice that there is a divine intelligence in play in your body. Do you know how many cells are there in your body? Can anyone guess how many cells are there in your body? You can type it in. Like, you know in our body right now, there are about like close to 100 trillion cells in the body. And 100 trillion cells in the body, like, all these cells, they uh, they combine and form different tissues and different organs. And uh, like, in each cell, each cell, can you guess how many biochemical reactions are happening in each cell? Eugenia said million. Yeah, that's the number of biochemical reactions that are happening in one cell. So you have 100 trillion cells, and in each cell there are about 1 million biochemical reactions. So that is 10 to the power of 19 biochemical reactions that are happening in your body. Just look at yourself. You look at yourself, and like in this body, there are about 10 to the power of 19 biochemical reactions happening. And all these things are happening without
your intervention.
Yeah, without any intervention. So do you see that there is an intelligence that is at play, that is taking care of you right now inside the body? Like, okay, let's look at this way. It's been 45 minutes since we started this discussion or conversation. In the last 45 minutes, how many liters of blood did your heart pump? How many times did your heart beat? If you say roughly your heart beats about 60 to 70 per minute, that's times 45. That's close to 4,000 times. Your heart, more than 4,000 times just in 45 minutes. Did you give any instruction?
Yes. Let's say if you have to take that same 4,000 steps.
Yeah. Let's say if you have to tell your heart to beat that every beat, would it be even possible? So without you and me giving instructions, that your body, like our bodies are so fascinating. Like it's so amazing that the heart is pumping the blood by itself. The lungs are exchanging the air, cleaning out, getting rid of all the carbon dioxide and taking in the oxygen. And your kidneys and liver, they're filtering the blood and really getting rid of the toxins. And your gut is still digesting the supper or the lunch that you had. Do you see this? And all of these are happening without any input from you. So what we are saying is that there is an intelligence, a divine intelligence that is beyond your conscious mind, that is guiding the human body. And not only the human body, it's guiding the nature, like everything that is happening in the nature, the 5 elements, what is happening, how you put a seed. Like we are into gardening. As many of you know, we grow a lot of vegetables. Like we put the seed in the soil, and within few days, you have a sprout. And within few days you have a plant, and within few days you have flowers, you have tree, you have fruits. And how is all this happening? So that divine intelligence that is making that seed sprout and give us the fruits, and the same divine intelligence that is running this human body, we surrender to that, we acknowledge and we surrender to that. And that's where, like, that we do this process because, hey, we do our best and then surrender the rest, right? So that's the formula. Like, let us share our screen now, and there you can look at and see how this formula for stress-free living, all of this plays out. So we covered all these things, right? Like, so the last S part was simplifying life, seeking clarity, and setting priorities and surrendering. So this is the formula for stress-free living that we use in our lives. We're not saying that we don't have any stress, but whatever stress that comes up, with using these principles, like knowing more about ourselves and doing self-care and learning to use the time intentionally, taking responsibility for our health, relaxing. And a big part of relaxing is actually doing breathing exercises and meditation. And we have this very powerful breathing practice that we do, that it just takes about 20 minutes a day, which recharges us. Like, it not only relaxes the mind, but it also recharges us, like, regulates our energy, and it also improves sleep. So, like, it is doing 3 things that and also giving more clarity. So one simple practice that we do on a daily basis in the morning or some days in the afternoon, it just gives us much more clarity, more energy, more relaxation, and gives us good sleep. It's called like sky breath. And we just did a workshop, like we both taught a group of students just over the weekend this very powerful breathing process. We had about 10 students, right? Like, and
Yeah.
all of them, they found it so powerful and useful. Just within 3 days, they learned this breathing technique and learned meditation techniques to um, they learn the breathing techniques and the meditation techniques too, and that have brought much more energy, more clarity, and more relaxation into their lives. And this is something that we are doing again in another 3 weeks time. uh, you can take advantage of that. We invite you to join us for the sky breath meditation that is happening on 18th February 18th, 19th, and 20th. It's just 3 days, just 3 hours a day, 3 hours a day, 3 hours of your time, just 3 days, under 10 hours. You'll be learning very powerful techniques that your life won't be the same. You may have stressful situations, but you will be able to navigate them with grace. um, and Geraldine says, like, it's a big problem if you got a perfectionist personality. Yes, it is a problem, Geraldine. But once we learn how to relax and let go, we loosen the grip. We loosen the grip on our own tendencies that hold us back. This idea of perfection, it's an illusion. Like, there is, it's, we are all things of progress. We are all like, work in progress. There is no uh, perfection, right? It's all about progress. So
Yeah.
you could look at the link in the comments. That's the link to sign up. You could like check this out, and we highly recommend, like, you join us for this. It's going to be like an amazing weekend with just 3 hours a day. In 3 days you'll be learning very powerful technique called sky breath. And there are over 70 studies that are published in the scientific literature on how the sky breath meditation, it lowers the stress level, lowers the anxiety level, improves sleep.
Yeah, it lowers cortisol.
Yeah,
The
cortisol
stress,
is a stress hormone, right?
stress hormone. Yeah, it lowers your anxiety. Yeah.
So let us know what you're taking away from this formula. Like, we have shared like, I think over 10 aspects. There are over 10 components to it.
Yeah.
And which one of these you will be using from starting from today?
Yeah, and also share, like, what are one or two things that you think you will be able to use from this formula.
Yeah. So we have the formula on the screen for you, and you can just look at it. Like, we covered so many things. Let us know what is one or two things that you will be using starting today. You can use all these components. More, would it be more self-care for you, or learning more about yourself, the self-knowledge, or would you commit to make good usage of your time, taking more responsibility for your mental health, and also focusing on relaxing in healthy ways, right? And taking charge of your energy, eating the right foods in the right amount at the right time, and doing exercise. What is that you'll be focusing on?
Great. Connie says I'm registered for Feb 18.
Hey, Connie,
Kudos.
kudos, Connie, congratulations. We are so happy for you. So this is using this formula to cope with stress in healthy ways has been a big game changer for us. Just simplify your life. Sometimes it may be some of the things that hold you back. So that unhealthy habits, subtract them and add more health promoting habits. Geraldine says more outside. Great stuff. Yes. Yeah. Going out more, it helps in so many ways. You get more energy, more exercise. you'll sleep better, you relax better. It's a good usage of your time.
Mhm.
So that works. So what are you taking away from this formula, and what will be you be using? Let us know in the comments, and share this.
Yeah, Robert says simplifying life and time management. You
Managing your
might
time better.
better.
Yeah, that's a game changer, Vivian. Like, if you just start looking at, we have actually done it. Like, we have apps on our cell phones which track time, the usage of cell phone, and it also tells us, like, what are we spending our time on the cell phone.
Mhm.
So, like, we've also done this exercise where we took our notebook and we did a log,
Mhm.
like, what are we doing with time, like from 6 to 7 in the morning, what am I doing, from 7 to 8, what am I doing, from 8 to 9, what am I doing. So we did this process for, like, just a week. Like, if you just do for a week, you will see where most of your time is being wasted, and you just, harness that time and redirect it to, would you want to direct it to your self-care? Do you want to pick up a new hobby that you want to learn, or do you want to, like, learn to cook in healthy ways? The Gift of Health program is there for you. Like, so the Gift of Health food as medicine program is another great tool for you to learn to cope with stress, because, as we said, um, the the better you eat, the more healthier you are, the more happier you are.
Yeah.
Would you say?
The more foods that you give to heal your body instead of eating the foods that hurt your body,
Mhm.
and the more knowledge you have about what foods to eat, what foods reduce inflammation, that's a game changer. For
Mhm.
many, it has actually affected thousands and thousands of lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we have
Maureen says I need to declutter.
yes, that would this
Relieve.
actually, another E you can add in the energy regulation is environment, because your environment plays a role in the stress. Like, if you keep, research shows, you can see this for yourself, if you keep your environment clean, like nice and organized, you would have less stress. But if there is a lot of clutter, how would your mind be? So that's good way to start, Maureen. So, Vanessa shared the link for the Gift of Health 6-week program. That is a food as medicine program. That is a food as medicine for your mental health. So you could join us. We invite you to join for the next Gift of Health food as medicine program that is starting from March
24th.
24th. Yeah. So we have a six group. We have a group of students that are going through the 6-week program now. They're in the third week, and they've already made so many like healthful and not just health promoting foods, but also food that boosts their mental health. They have learned to make these breakfasts that boost their energy, and now they're making their lunches and suppers as well. So take advantage of these programs. This is what Gift of Health is about. We are here to share the tools and tips to take care of your mental health and your the physical health, and take advantage of both of these programs.
Yes. And
Yeah, we see the
and also
Diana says, like, I appreciate how you have structured this. It is helpful to see the integration. Yeah, we're so fortunate that this formula just came up. We were thinking about you and to see how we can simplify this for you, and the universe just put it for us to bring it to you. Jeannie says, simplifying life and get moving more. Yes, and that is so powerful, Jeannie. One way to start moving more, tracking your activity. Get a step counter, either a pedometer or a Fitbit or Apple Watch, something, and make a commitment that you're going to get at least 10,000 steps a day. uh, Personally, I've kept a goal of getting 11,000 steps per day, and if that has been a game changer for me. Like, I found that on the days that I'm not that active, my energy and my like overall how I feel and how I eat, all these matter. But on the days where I'm meeting the activity levels, I feel more energetic, and it's so powerful. So get moving more and get a tracker. Vivian says managing the time better. Very powerful. Yeah, going. Jeannie says going for a walk now. Yeah. Robert, you're so welcome. We are so grateful that you are all in our lives, and we are able to share this knowledge and wisdom with you. Yeah, we are in this journey together. Anything that you need health wise, feel free to reach out and share your questions and comments, and we'll be happy to share any resources that would be helpful for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week, next Tuesday, same time. And we have an interesting thing coming Tuesday. So we are going to share how we can grow our own microgreens. I know a lot of you have been asking how we are growing the microgreens and different types of greens. So next week we are going to share that. So feel free to let your friends know. And yeah, Geraldine says I don't like the cold.
So Geraldine, like, we are not big fans of if it is too chilly outside. What we have done is we got a treadmill, and that was one gift that we gave to ourselves. Like, it's invest in either a treadmill or an elliptical, or get a bike, like a stationary bike.
Yeah, stationary bike.
Yeah, and then get your activity on that, like put that right in front of your TV. And if when next time when you're watching something on the Netflix, or doing something on the phone or iPad, just keep walking and walk and watch, rather than, like, being a couch potato and being sedentary. So just invest in treadmill, or elliptical, or stationary bike. Or if you don't want to invest in any of that, it's okay. We did take a challenge, like, um yeah, we took this challenge. Like, there was a time where I came back from India, early part of last year, like the mid part of last year. And then the regulations were like, when I came back from India, I have to isolate for a few days. So I was in just one room for isolating, just because of the guidelines. And I was just in one room, and even within one room, a room of this size, I made sure I got 10,000 steps. What I did, like, I was in one room, I was speaking to over the phone with my family, or Shobha, and I was just, walking and talking over the phone. Or just, you could move around even in a room. Like, when there is a will, there is a way.
Yeah, when there is intention, it definitely manifests.
Yeah, so it's okay. Even if it is cold, make it something. Even in the house, put some YouTube videos. There are lots of YouTube videos to, which can get you started on increasing your activity, depending upon whatever level you are. So you could watch some YouTube videos and move your body more, right? So good. Yeah. Well, we will conclude this year. We hope this formula for stress-free living is helpful to you. And we all wish you a stress-free, happy, healthy living. And it's such a beautiful gift that you can give for yourself and your family, and whatever the community you live in. Like, only when we are peaceful, our family is peaceful. And when our family is peaceful, like, then our community is peaceful, our town is peaceful, our, in the world. When you become peaceful, you're making the world more peaceful. So when you're becoming more healthy, you're making the world more healthy. So this is our wish for you, that you live a happy, healthy, stress-free life. We will sign off, and
we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.